Greetings, Iain from RTO here, and welcome to Classic Album Review. Now this week, this is a bit of a really curveball for me, but when I look at classic albums to go through, online to pick albums for me to do on the classic album, this album keeps appearing on lots of lists. And to be quite honest, the only songs I know off this album are the hits. And the album I'm talking about is Michael Jackson's Thriller. Now, they were saying this is the best album ever made. Personally, in my opinion, I don't think it is. How can you, okay, I'm a bit biased because I'm a rock fan, progressive rock fan, but there are some great, far better albums than this, I think. So I thought, I've never listened to it apart from the hits. I thought, let me listen to this and really have a listen to see why everybody thinks this is the best album ever made. So, Thriller, it was Michael Jackson's 6th album. It was released on November the 30th, 1982, produced by Quincy Jones, who I think is a damn fine producer, full stop. What's it say about this? Michael Jackson actually wanted to create an album where every song was a killer. With the ongoing backlash against disco music at the time, he moved into a musical direction, resulting in a mix of pop, post-disco, rock, funk and R&B sounds. There's so many people playing on that. We'll be here for 10 minutes just reading them names. So I'm just going to go through the tracks and really see if we can get, why is this generally known as the best album ever? Okay then, the first track is Wanna Be Startin' Something. Now, I know this one because it was a big hit. I think this is a very similar sound that Phil Collins was doing at the time. It's not bad, I don't mind it. It's got a nice quirky beat to it. Well produced, of course. So I don't mind that one. Baby Be Mine. This is a funky really track, but in all honest opinion, it's pretty mediocre. It's just a sort of generic sort of pop song, nothing special. Then we get This Girl Is Mine that he did with Paul McCartney, and it's a song that I couldn't stand when it came out. It's cheesy, it's just, give me a it's terrible song. But the next one is a classic, and it's one that I really like, and it is the title track, Thriller. One of the best songs from Michael Jackson. I think everybody loves this. I think it was the video that really sold it. I think if I was to do a retro ranking on Michael Jackson, this probably would be in the top 10, without a doubt. It's a great video, and I love Vincent Price, and he does really add something to this. And I do like that track, I must admit. I've always liked it. Another track I like is the next one, Beat It. Best one on the album, of course. And the album features on the guitar solo the one and only Mr. Eddie Van Halen. Love that track. Great guitar solo from Eddie. And then we get another classic, Billie Jean. Again, I love this song. It's a great song. Got one of the best guitar solos on this album, apart from Eddie's. I love the bass line on there, that boom, 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 and that shuffle. It really is a good song. Another top 10 song for Michael, for me. Human Nature. It's got some nice funky guitar on it, and that's it. The rest of it's pretty dull and monotonous. In my opinion, it's just not very good. Then we get P.Y.T, Pretty Young Thing. Again, it's mediocre 80s garbage. Dull, no proper instruments on it, all computers and keyboards. Doesn't do nothing for me. And then The Lady in My Life. I don't mind this track. It's a nice, gentle, relaxing track. I can just about cope with it. Okay. Oh, well, that's the album. And in all honesty, the only tracks I can really say are corkers are Billie Jean, Beat It, Thriller of course, and Wanna Be Starting Something. The rest, to be quite honest, are just pretty mediocre pop songs. But it sold like hotcakes. Did the album just did them 4 tracks actually carry the album? But then when it got to number 1 in Australia, Canada, France, Netherlands, UK and US. Then when in 1984 it still made the charts, stayed in the charts. It was peaked at number 6 in 1984, number 1 on Billboard. I mean, it went 15 times platinum here, 34 times platinum in America, 70 million odd copies. Is it the best album ever? Particularly, no. There's 4 tracks and the rest are just mediocre. It's just strange. But then again, like when I rank other, albums I like, half of the time my number 1 is not the most popular and successful album of a band. And I think as some of the songs that Michael did later, after Thriller, there's some great songs that he done. I mean, Earth Song's pretty decent. I like that song. So I don't know what the whole world went crazy about this album, because there are far better albums, pop albums, than this. Like we did the one last week, Stars, Simply Red. That's a classic album, and I think that has got a great track on the album. And I think, in all honesty, I mean, I listened to a couple more of Michael Jackson's, and I actually think Bad's a better album than this. I think it's got a better selection of tracks. So there you go. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10, because I don't think it is as good as what Joe Public thought. But then again, there's a lot, did people just buy this because it was Michael Jackson? You don't know, do you? You don't know how people think. I mean, I know this is the last couple of weeks was the first time I'd ever heard the old album all the way through, and I just think it's, apart from them 4 outstanding tracks, the rest of it's pretty mediocre. Okay, I had to do that one. I just wanted to perceive what all this fuss was really about. And okay, I'm a rocker and I do like a bit of pop, but this is not that good. Anyway, that's all for today, folks. Tomorrow we have got one of the more obscure bands. We're going to do the album ranking of Scandinavian speed metal, power metal band Bloodbound. And tomorrow's retro ranking, we're going into a little bit of ska tomorrow for you, and we're going to look at my favourite songs by the Specials. So that's all for tomorrow. Just a bit of a heads up, we've had to change the new album rank of review next week, because it should have been Arena's new album, but they've put it back till the 21st of October. But luckily there was another album that came out on Friday. I've been listening to it over the weekend, and that's the new Megadeth album, The Sick, the Dying and the Dead. So I shall be reviewing that instead. And then Saturday we've got a special with Mr. Richard McCook again, and we're going to be looking at our favourite #1 hit songs of the 1970s. So lots to come this week. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.